everybody, welcome back. We are here with JudgeSim once again, and they came out with 30 new cases, but we don't have to follow the Banana Republic like the first cases. They're laws, we just make it up ourselves. So short intro, let's just jump into this and see how bad we're going to punish the guilty. It was one of my most viewed playlists on the channel, so I thought, hey, let's just go into here. And before, I did 3 cases, but I was dropping 3 episodes a week. And since we're spreading it out, and this is Random Fun Friday, we are going to do English. We are going to just do, let's do XDAD there. But we're able to just, make up our own 30 new cases in this mode. Decisions made in these lawsuits have no consequences, allowing you to decide as you wish. You are the law. The cases are designed for role-playing, featuring moral dilemmas and true case references. You will earn $500 after each case. With this money, you can play BJ and Wheel of Fortune. We recommend this game mode for players who have finished the story section. Have fun. Well, we have finished story section, so I'm very interested in doing this. We get to pick what we want. But instead of just doing 3 episodes, we'll do 3 cases per episode. We'll do 6, since this is a Random Fun Friday. Don't come home for a while. I don't want to see your face. You've neglected us a lot lately. Your children are growing up without a father because of you. You have always prioritized your work over your family. Maybe you'll have a chance to think during this time. Okay, at least we don't have to deal with them. But if you remember other episodes, we don't have a cat to pet. Alright, let's end the day. Okay. Alright, here we go. Case 1, brand new. Alright. If you like this type of content, please like. So I know it's something you want to see more of, because this is going to be on Random Fun Fridays, and we need to get back to some scary games. We haven't done scary in a while. Okay. The energy drink slogan goes as BadBull energy drink. Never step on the brakes. Okay. All right, let's check out the case first. I think that's the evidence folder. Okay. Marcus Mason gets into a car accident because of the slogan of the energy drink. There's common sense here, people. Okay. Marcus Mason crashed into a tree while driving his own vehicle. Mark Mason claims that he was distracted by the slogan on the energy drink and crashed into the tree on the side of the road. He's trying to blame somebody. Immediately after the accident, he filed a lawsuit for compensation against the company that produced the energy drink called BadBull and demanded compensation for his damage. In this case, BadBull Energy Drink Company attorney Laura Longer Hortz is present. Now this is ridiculous. First of all, I must point out that the sole culprit of the accident is the stupid slogan of the energy drink called BadBull. While driving, I reached for a BadBull energy drink in my car center console to take a sip. It had a strange design, and I kept my eyes on the road. Well, obviously not. The writing on it caught my attention, and that very moment I was driving on the winding road. The stupid energy drink had never hit the brakes written on it. I knew I needed to slow down, but this message confused me. Instead of hitting the brakes, I accelerated and crashed into a tree in front of me. Whoever came up with that slogan is going to pay. No, they're not going to pay for this. We already know this. This is open shut right here. All the, like big time Karen, never taking accountability, always blaming somebody else. All right. Although we are happy that our slogan is interesting, I thought that there is no one who does not know that such slogans have a metaphorical meaning. But unfortunately there is. I'm sorry it crashed, but we are not going to pay for it. No, you're not. Let's just take a look at the slogan again. Never step on the brakes. Is there actually any digital? Yeah, it don't need any digital evidence. This is a pretty open and shut case. Let's hear what they have to say. All right, what is your defense, Miss Laura? First of all, I'd like to say that we are sorry for Marcus for being in the situation, but I don't fully understand why Marcus is angry with us. Me neither. What would you like to say about the claim that the slogan of the company's energy drink can encourage consumers to behave dangerously and therefore cause an accident? We produce energy drinks, as the name suggests. It is not a figurative part. It's called energy drink. But our slogan is designed to attract attention, and it's clearly figurative. If anyone thinks that our slogan is dangerous, I would like him to look at the slogans of other energy drinks. They'll probably never consume any drinks again. All right, Mr. Marcus, let's hear what you have to say. What's your thoughts on this? Of course, Your Honor, first of all, I should point out the energy drink I consume does not give energy. On the contrary, it also takes your energy, but this is not our topic. In my opinion, the slogan of the energy drink is the only one responsible for my accident. I think you'll agree with me. Well, you're thinking wrong. Yeah, do you think every driver who reads the slogan on an energy drink will end up in the same situation as you? If I had this accident, any driver can do it. Always drive carefully. The slogan should be removed as soon as possible before it harms more people. I also demand payment for my expenses. Alright, let's see the options. We're clearly not paying this guy. It was decided to remove the slogan. Nope. It was decided to remove the slogan. Nope. It was decided not to remove the slogan. And we're not covering it. It was decided not to remove the slogan of the energy drink and not to cover any expenses. That was ridiculous. That was fun, though. It's funny. That was a funny first case. It's been a while, you know. You see when the last ones were posted. Okay, so this is CaseOh. Hold on. Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Case number 2 of this JudgeSim is CaseOh. If you want to see it. I don't even know what the case is yet. But look, and his name's Case. They don't want to copy it completely, but it's CaseOh. All right, let's see what this case is about. All right, CaseOh was charged with insult and beating. CaseOh asked for the fries to be remade at Burger Queen's in the mall he went to because it was too cold. According to allegations, CaseOh, who complained about the fries that came later and argued with the cashier, was handed over to the police by mall security for verbally and physically assaulting the cashier and duty manager over some fries. Cold fries. He didn't say anything about fries when I took his order. Okay, this is the person. I also entered the order into the system. The preparation of the product is not my task. When the order was ready, he asked for the fries to be replaced, and I told this to my colleague in the back. After a while, I gave him the new fries. He thanked me and went to his table. Within 1 to 2 minutes, he came back again and started complaining about the fries and asked me to change it again. So I called my manager, and they started talking. After a while, a fight began between them. I heard my salesperson and a customer arguing, so I walked out of the room and headed to the cash register. After I understood what the situation was, I came to him and started talking. I told him to calm down, and when I explained that we had already changed his fries and that it was not possible to change again, he got angry and hit me a few times. I don't remember the rest. I fainted, and when I woke up, the police came and took him away. All right. Mental health test positive. All right. I was very busy that day. I didn't have a chance to eat, and I was really stressed because I was really hungry. I placed my order, and when my food arrived, my fries were freezing cold. Okay, I requested replacement. It makes sense as soon as he gets his order. A few minutes later, they gave me hot fries. However, the moment I put the fry in my mouth, I spat it out because it had an excessive amount of salt on it. When I asked them to change it again, they said they couldn't do that. At that moment, a small argument began between us. Then a store manager came over, and I didn't like the attitude they had. When they started insulting me, I lost my composure and insulted them back. This brand was one I liked, but now they've fallen out of my favor. Okay. So first they're too cold, they're freezing, replaced it. Makes sense. Then the second group were too salty. That's just when you ask for your money back and no new fries. This is a tough one. How are we going? Alright, let's, what's the evidence? There's one digital, okay. Let's check the digital evidence. Yeah, I wanted to show my son, he thinks Case is pretty funny, so. You can't keep replacing fries for you over and over again. Judging by your weight, it looks like you've already eaten enough. So don't drag it out any longer, go back to your seat. This is my way as a customer. These fries are inedible. I will complain about your branch. Okay. Don't just complain. Go home crying. Fill out the online customer form. How about I fart in a jar and send your home with a with the form. Pretty funny. Let's check that out again real quick. Fries are inedible. So, yeah, he can fill out a complaint. Okay. If they're not going to keep making the food, they really should give the money back. So we haven't heard anything about monetary, fries are inedible. Okay, let's see what they have to say. In addition to insults, there are rumors of violence. What do you have to say about that? I mean, we can look at them. It looks like it. Your Honor, I do not physically assault anyone. I told the manager he had to change the fries again, and he insulted me by saying things like, you can go home crying and fill out our online customer form and send it to me. I could not remain calm in the situation and insulted him the same way. Then he hit me, and the incident was taken to the police station when the mall security arrived. Okay, to Tyler. You're the alleged perpetrator, Mr. Tyler. What is your defense? Your Honor, in the shock of the moment, I said in my statement that he hit me. In fact, there was a brawl between us. I can't remember exactly who hit who, but I am a respectable manager. I would never insult my customers. I'm very clear about that. Okay. This one's a little trickier because according to the digital evidence, he is insulting the customer. So he's lying. Okay, so he's lying. Alright, let me out of this. Can I leave? Oh, it's forced me to watch it. Okay, so he's lying because he obviously did insult him. But not allowed to fight because of that. But you're not allowed to, fight because of that. But it's clearly he got hit. I mean, look at his eye and his head. Let's see what the options are for punishment. Oh. Alright. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so now we're back into this. Oh, this is a tough one here. Because it's like, do we have I don't think we have the little book that tells us the laws and stuff anymore, do we? We do not. Now, in the regular game, insult was like a crime, but we're not playing that. Insults, this is America for this one, so it's freedom of speech. But that's what CaseOh is charged with. Now, he does have to take a assault charge. Well, I don't know. Look at his face. Could be battery. Now, just because CaseOh doesn't have marks on him doesn't mean that, this guy didn't hit him back. Size don't matter in these situations. It's who did what. Alright, let's determine the punishment. For misdemeanor assault, because I'm going to say he's got to pay a fine. He's also going to have to let's do a month of public service. Accept decision. All right. And Mr. CaseOh, you don't have to pay the money. Well, no, you got a simple assault too. You're basically both getting the same thing. But I do feel like CaseOh should get reimbursed the money for the fries. And maybe whatever other food he was ordering. Here it is. Whether the other food he was ordering, because obviously if a commotion broke out, he probably didn't get a chance to eat his burger or whatever else either because of the whole situation. But I didn't give him jail time. This seems like, I mean, since there was fist, it is battery, but I never went to law school. I have no idea. So I have no idea that one. All right, case 3. All right. Gerek, Bhauvin. All right, let's see what the case is here. Murder, abusing of power. Okay, George Floyd was stopped by the police while driving his car. The police officer, Gerek Bhauvin, who wanted to take a look at the license and the permit of George, asked him to leave his car after some time. So he's the police. Pulled a guy over. All right. Both Bhauvin laid George face down on the ground and pressed his knee on George's neck. Okay, I see where this is going. Put on his neck for a while. George, who stated that he could not breathe many times during this time, did not get the response he expected. After a while, he was taken to the hospital thinking that he had fainted. Despite the interventions made in the hospital where he was taken, he could not be saved. A person named Sabrina Glory, who was at the scene, said that she was following the incident closely, was called to testify as an eyewitness. Okay, let's see. I followed the event from beginning to end. Poor guy. I'm so sorry for him, but I couldn't do anything. I begged the police officer to let him go, but he was pressing his knee on his neck so hard that even I gasped. Besides, he didn't give him any difficulties at all. He calmly did what the police told him, and the police officer should be punished for his actions. Okay, given the information we have, I agree so far. All right, Mr. Bhauvin, what do you have to say? I'm a police officer. I received a report instructing me to pull over George's vehicle, so I did. I asked him to step out of the car, but he resisted. I told him there was no need for that, but he continued to be uncooperative for an extended period. As a result, I forcibly removed him from the vehicle. I asked him to stay calm, but he was fidgeting and pulling at me. Eventually, I took him to the ground and pressed my knee on his back to restrain him. Was his back or his knee? Or his neck? I thought I was applying pressure to his back, but I accidentally applied it to his neck. I didn't realize he was struggling to breathe until I noticed they had stopped moving after a while. I then called for an ambulance and accompanied him to the hospital. My intentions were not to harm him. Okay, I could believe that maybe your intentions were not to harm him, but like you can't tell where your knee's at on somebody. Kind of suspicious. Okay. Photo of the situation taken by standards. Okay, so we can obviously see it's on his neck. Person died after being out of breath for a long time. The cause of breathlessness has been described as pressure on the neck. Okay, and he thought, ooh, this is a tough one. This might get me in trouble on here. Okay, let's see. I want to hear what Sabrina had to say. All right. Actually, I want to see where Sabrina to say. I want to know the details. Okay, he was stopped by the police for driving his car, but it doesn't tell us why he was stopped in the first place. I guess it doesn't matter. The question is it murder or not? Police officer wanted to take a look at the license and the permit of George, asked him to leave his car. Both Bhauvin. See some of the wording in this when they change it to English is not quite. Both Bhauvin and and who else? Like that's what confusing. Okay. Okay, it's poor training, but what do you guys say? Why did you treat... Okay, so apparently George was innocent. Why did you treat George the way you did when he was innocent? I was told Dad to stop the vehicle. Besides, how was I to know he was innocent? Correct, but would you treat every person whose vehicle you stop this way if you sense a suspicious situation? I had to because it gave me a hard time. I've never given anyone this kind of treatment before. Even though I told him to stay calm, he gave me a hard time. According to the, I was going to say, what about the eyewitness? According to the eyewitness at the scene, George did not cause you any difficulty. What do you have to say about that? No one was around at the time of the incident. They might came later. Also, George insisted too hard not to get out of his car. They may not have seen that part. This is a tough one, and the reason is because the picture is basically the knee on the neck, but we don't have any evidence. Is there anything here? We don't have any evidence of what happened prior. All we're seeing is the knee on the neck part. Still doesn't change the fact that you incorrectly subdued him, whether it be back or knee. So we're going to have to do, hold on, see a citizen? We may just deport him. Okay, alright. Alright, so he's definitely guilty. You know, cops make mistakes. It seemed like this one could have been easily prevented. So definitely not the death penalty. I don't know what the rules are for like first degree, second degree, third degree, manslaughter. He's still liable for what happened because he didn't properly contain the subject. Even if he was given a hard time before, it still doesn't change the fact that he was on the neck. Like, and not subdued, like in his back. Just sitting on him, you know, probably been better than cutting off his airways. So I don't even know what the proper year is for like manslaughter or something. Was it probably like 15, 20 years? Alright. And then you have to do probation. Well, this is public service. You're going to get it for 24 months after you get out. Oh, I can only pick one or the other? I can't add them both? Oh. Oh, so just... Alright, whatever. Okay. Judge punishes races. Now, I don't know if that was a race thing. I just think it was... I'll just tell you, this situation, I don't know if it was an actual race thing. It's just like he improperly contained the suspect on the ground. It could be a training thing. He shouldn't get qualified immunity for that, but Gohn, Wacy. This is supposed to be John Gacy. Let's see what we got. Case 4. All right. Murder. Recently, a young man named Robert Viest, who worked in the pharmacy, disappeared. Police teams that started the investigation detained the people with whom Robert last spoke and who had a criminal record. Not long after, Robert's lifeless body was found in the deserted forest behind the pharmacy where Robert worked. Okay. During the investigation, it was found that Robert was bitten to death. Alright, here's old Wacy here. Cute kid, shame this happened. I'm going to be targeted as the killer just because he talked to me. Alright, dish. I didn't kill him. If I had killed him, I would not have bitten him. If I had bitten him, he wouldn't have stayed in one piece. You wouldn't have found the body if he had remained in one piece. I got heated at the moment, but not that much. Besides biting, that's not something I would do. Okay, so these are the other co-workers, I guess. Kishard, Barrelt. It's got a point, William. I'm going to be the killer just because he talked to me. Let's see what evidence we got. Tooth marks found on the victim's neck. Okay, the X is a tooth and is missing 3 teeth. Just looks like 2. He's missing 3. See, I think they're trying to trick us because we all know it's John Gacy, but they're trying to trick us with the tooth mark thing here. It looks like it's barreled. I mean, he's wearing a clown mask and everything. Yeah, they're wanting to say it's him, but it's really old Barrel there. That's why you gotta look at the evidence. Okay, so we know who it is. It's Barrel. Let's see if there's any digital evidence. Probably not. Yep. All right, let's see what they have to say. I want to see this again. Robert, he worked at a pharmacy. Had a criminal record. Okay, even though in real life it was Gacy, but here it looks like it's Dish. I would not have bitten him. If I had bitten him, he wouldn't have stayed in one place. You wouldn't have found the body if he had remained in one place. Making no sense. What's these? Well, according to the dental records, missing 3 teeth. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Not missing. 1, 2, 3. And that's exactly the spots. This thing, dental record don't lie, boy. You free to go. Mr. Gacy, although they want us to say that you're guilty, you're also not guilty. You are guilty. Execution. I'm okay with the death penalty. They use people paying tax dollars for someone who intentionally murdered somebody. I mean, I get it if it was like an accident or something like that, but if it was intentional, I mean, you just, there's no use being around anymore. All right. Yeah, we didn't even have to talk to him. All right, let's check out the case here. Baxter has been stripped of his gold medal. Okay, Keitha Baxter. Within the scope of the Summer Olympic Games held in our country this year, the athlete named Keitha Baxter won the gold medal in the women's boxing category by coming in first. All right, good for her. In the category she won, many people, especially rival athletes, complained about unfair victories. Okay, I think I see where this is going. Let's see. In these complaints, it was argued that Keitha Baxter is not actually a woman, but a transgender person, and therefore not in the category of women. As a result of the situation, the Olympic Committee decided to take the case to the judiciary and demanded the return of the gold medal they won. Olympic Committee. We have no intention of blaming anyone. We just want the incident to be clarified. This will also reassure the public. Okay, of course they're not going to take responsibility. I mean, it is their games, but okay. Objecting player. I realized at the moment she threw the first punch. This couldn't have been a woman's punch. My brain was literally shaken. The incident suddenly turned into a case of violence against women in front of the whole world. I couldn't allow that. I didn't even feel safe. At that moment, I gave up on the match. Keitha. It's really embarrassing what you're doing. You humiliate me in front of my family and friends. There is misogyny here and a dirty conspiracy of my opponents. History remember you with shame. Well, here's the issue. She could just be really good, just, on another level. But let's take a look at the evidence. Hormone test result performed on Keitha Baxter. The level of testosterone, the male sex hormone, has exceeded that of a normal male. Okay, it's average man, athlete, I'm guessing, but this is Keitha's. No surgical intervention was found on the genitals. Okay, well, definitely taking some supplements. I'm guessing there's no digital evidence. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, let's hear what they have to say. Ms. Baxter, what is your defense? Your Honor, it saddens me to really talk about this. That's why I just want to say this. What matters in life is not the victory, but the struggle. The main thing is not to win, but to fight well. I hope they understand this. Alright, well, according to the evidence, you are putting out a lot more testosterone than the average man. So even if you are biological female, you're obviously on testosterone boosters and stuff like that, which would also disqualify you from the said there is no harm in an athlete either competing in the female category, and that she should be paid $50,000 for the moral pain. Sorry, but even if you are a biological female, your testosterone's through the roof, so you're obviously on some kind of anabolic steroid or something. So you would be disqualified anyway and get your medal stripped. So don't even have nothing to do with the gender. But they test you, and and you got a little too much. All right. All right, case 6. This is going to be our last one for the Random Fun Friday episode. Let's see what we got here. All right. Aiding and abetting an offender. Okay. In Block E of the prison, an inmate named Victor Young has escaped in recent weeks. It has not been caught yet. Okay. As a result of the extensive investigation carried out by police, it was determined that the person was provided with daily clothes from outside, and that the locked doors were opened and exited the system. Okay, so an insider help. During the escape, it was understood that the individual would not have been able to escape without the assistance of guards. Okay, like I was saying. In addition, it has been determined that the camera recordings of that hour have been deleted, which would also need help of a guard. As a result, the suspicious guards who were on shift at the time in Block E were detained. All right, Mr. Wheeler. Look, I don't know who deleted the camera recordings. We all take turns monitoring the camera room during certain hours. I didn't leave the room at all except for urgent needs, and I never took my eyes off the screen. But the person I suspect is Lee. Okay. Let's check out the next one. So Joseph suspects Lee because he called us to the prison's cafeteria for the donuts he ordered from outside during the shift change. I think it was at that moment that Victor's door opened. It is impossible for this to be a coincidence. Well, maybe Lee was like, hey guys, come get these donuts. And then someone else opened the doors. Alright, anyway. Lee, I didn't order donuts or anything and called no one. That was Thomas's idea. He told me that he wanted us to buy donuts to celebrate that his daughter had given birth. But he forgot his wallet. He said, you take the order and pay it, and I'll pay you later. That's all I know. Besides, I don't think the prisoner will escape for this reason. Joseph may be disorienting the target. I've been a guard of this prison for almost 30 years. I've never seen such a ridiculous event in my entire life. Obviously, there's a traitor among us. I don't want to blame anyone, but Lee was always complaining about the money he received. He always talked about taking bribes, even if it was just a joke. Okay, so Mr. Harrison, it is interesting though. He's the only one that's not. I mean, well, he did say Lee, but old Joseph is blaming Lee. Lee's blaming Joseph. But he's saying Thomas was the one that's his idea for the donuts. Let's see what evidence we got. Doors used by the prisoner during escape. Okay. 3:30, 3:45. You know what? Let's take a quick shot of this, so we don't have to go back and forth. We're gonna take a quick shot of this. That way I can see what we got going on here. Then, okay. The door gets closed for lunch break. Okay. That's A2. 4:45 to 5 is Joseph. Let's see what else we got here. B1, 3:30 to 3:45 is Joseph. E, 5:45 to 6, Joseph. Okay, so he ordered it. That was 8, don't matter. Okay, well, I think we already know who it is here because the evidence helped us out. We believe Mr. Joseph is the one who let him out. Let's just double check this here. Okay. Don't know the camera recordings. He seemed like he was always complaining about the money, but they forgot his wallet. He said, "You take the order and pay for it." Well, then why has it got? Okay, so he ordered it, but he forgot his wallet. Forgot his wallet. He said, "You take the order and pay it. I'll pay you later." He's saying Lee's always talking about that, but according to the evidence, doors used by the prisoner during his escape was all the time that Mr. Wheeler. We'll just double check here. 5:45. Yep, it was all Joseph every single time. So, unfortunately. Hold on, those all say AM. Let me make sure I got, okay. Let's make sure they all say AM. Okay, that's the morning shift here. All right. So, well, Thomas, I know you're okay. Not guilty. You move on. Alright, Lee. You think you like the money? Let's hear what they have to say, though. I forgot to do that. Do you know what time the prisoner escaped? No, you are. They do not share this information with us. Okay, so you don't even know. So why did you say in your testimony that the donuts were deserted at the time the order was made? That was just a guess. It's not hard to think about it. A security vulnerability occurred there. All the guards left the post. I saw Lee go to the bathroom while we were eating the donuts. He may have done whatever he wanted at that point. I'm just saying that. Why do you think Joseph is off target? Your Honor, I heard the prisoner escaped in clean clothes. In other words, someone from the outside has to bring him clothes. These guards don't have enough sense to put clothes in the donut box. If they were that smart, they wouldn't be guards. Excuse me. I'm not sure if it was the day the prisoner escaped, but I'm sure it was that week. I saw that Joseph had bought new clothes. It was from an expensive brand. When I asked him why he brought these new clothes to work, he said, I'm invited to a party after work. You wouldn't get it, eh? Does the prison administration approve of you ordering from outside in this way? Moreover, you left the post for a while. Your Honor, have you ever crossed the street at a red light? We are all human and make mistakes. Obviously, this event was pre-organized and has nothing to do with me ordering it. Whoever told this story is obviously trying to cover something up. Yeah, they're just making up the donut things. Alright, I appreciate it. We already know what's going on. Alright, he's guilty. But I have no idea what aiding and abetting. I know when the prisoner gets caught, he's going to add a whole lot more years. But I don't know what aiding and abetting, how. If you aid and abet to help a prisoner escape, how many years is that? Like 8 or something? We're just going to put 8, but thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed JudgeSim. We're back into it. Next week, maybe the next 6 episodes, depending on how many people like and maybe comment on the video. But either way, we will also we need to get some scary games back on the channel. So I'll probably be doing that. But appreciate y'all being here. You enjoy the rest of the day. End screen, we'll have a couple options for you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Click the next one or check out some of my other content on the channel. You can do it. I believe in you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.